And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
When you hit your stride, the impact that you make is undeniable. Let's talk Godsmack for a sec. They've had an incredible career. Any band would be enviable. They've had 3 consecutive #1 albums on the Billboard 200, 23 top 10 hits, 17 in the top 5. They've sold over 20 million albums worldwide. It's Godsmack Day in Boston on August 6th. Fair to say they hit their stride years ago. And when singer Sully Erna was a guest, we talked about binge watching The Sopranos in Entourage. He shared the story of meeting Rush's Neil Peart. We got into superpowers, specifically his love of Deadpool and the movie Hancock. We talked about the documentary he's working on and being influenced by Aerosmith, Boston, and Zeppelin early on. And Sully talked about starting up the Scars Foundation to help raise awareness of mental health issues. Listen to this.
You know, I had wrote this song on the new record. It's the first time Godsmack ever attempted to put a song like this on a record. It's a straight-up epic ballad, like a Dream On / November Rain style ballad. And, you know, the inspiration behind it was just through an experience I had with someone who, you know, had a lot of baggage and scars and things that they were embarrassed about or made them feel insecure. And when things came up, they would be the kind of person that would push away rather than want to communicate and, you know, talk through it and just accept it as part of their flaws and things like that. And we all have them, you know, we all have these things we call scars, whether they're emotional or physical. And then from there, you know, I was just thinking this could be a really great cause, and I've always wanted to do something with a nonprofit. And so I developed an organization called the Scars Foundation, which we just announced a couple days ago. And it's a nonprofit that's going to help raise money on a global level. We've partnered with multiple companies to help battle everything from depression to addiction, bullying, PTSD, suicide prevention. You know, because I'm not sure how everyone feels about this, but for me, I was getting really sick and tired of losing a lot of important people in my life and, you know, hearing about these amazing artists that are just self-destructing everywhere through depression, whether they drink themselves to death or overdose or take their own lives. And, you know, the Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington back-to-back, that I think had a pretty big effect on everyone in the music industry. And, you know, I just thought it was time to maybe do something a little bit more on my part or something I can do. So we're hoping that, you know, the Scars Foundation will not only raise money globally to help these experts do their jobs better, but also to be a voice, you know, and help strengthen people, to help them understand that, you know, we all have these kind of imperfections and things that we feel insecure about or make us feel unworthy. But rather than stuff them down, you know, and suffer in silence and keep them internal, you know, I want people to kind of represent their scars, you know, and show their scars proudly and tell their stories so it'll inspire other people to tell their stories. And I think that's how we're going to start making a difference, is to get people to be vocal about it. Because unfortunately, you know, amputees and people that have physical scars, it's easy to identify them and be able to reach out and help or offer help or have them go for help. But the depression thing's a tough one because it's a silent killer and you don't see it coming until it's too late. And so the only way to really get help with people and to try to pull them out of this darkness is to get them to be vocal about it. And once we know that this is something they struggle with, then, you know, we can do even more. So this really needs to be, you know, a worldwide effort. It needs to be a group effort for everybody, you know, to just take it upon themselves to be able to come forward and know that we understand and we care, and we all have this. Like we all, me, my drummer, my bass player, like everybody that people may look up to, and I'm sure millions others that, you know, are in a celebrity status and people may think are untouchable or live this great life. We all struggle with these imperfections, but, you know, we just want to help people, empower them and get them stronger so they can come up forward with it and, you know, and deal with it, and then help others deal with it.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Find them online at TedcoRVSuppliesInc.com.
You've watched them from the outside your whole life. On TV, on stage, on the cover. The success that always looks like it happened to someone on a different planet. But what if it didn't? I'm Evelyn, and I've spent over 25 years in entertainment, producing for some of the biggest names in Hollywood. And here's what I learned. The distance between you and them, it's a lot shorter than anyone's letting on. On my podcast, Reppin', I sit down with the people you've been watching, and I ask them who they actually are. Not the brand, the person. Where they started, what it cost them, what almost broke them. Their grit, their courage, their resilience, and the lessons they've learned, it's all yours for the taking. Reppin', wherever you listen.
Goodbye, Kyle!
Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlotta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
Hi, listeners. We want to tell you about a podcast we love. It's called Rebel Girls, formerly known as Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. It's about real-life women who are changing the world with their courage, creativity, and big, bold ideas. Want to know how Taylor Swift became a superstar? Or hear how Simone Biles became the greatest athlete of all time? From immersive stories to heartfelt interviews to super smart advice, Rebel Girls brings you stories that will get you fired up to become your best self. There are over 400 episodes for you to explore, with new episodes every week. So check it out. Listen to Rebel Girls wherever you get your podcasts. And find us on youtube.com/rebelgirls. And whatever you do, stay rebel.